When I spend hours in the forest and nothing happens, I feel like my time has been wasted because I try to catch something all the time. I drive in the forest, just look around on every edge, every corner, trying to catch any kind of glimpse of wildlife with my camera. And when I spend so much time in there and get nothing on camera, I just feel like several hours disappeared away from my life. I think the logic that humans always want action, even in nature, is connected to the need to entertain yourself. You want to watch something that could trigger some kind of emotions inside you so you could get a dopamine rush and feel in a better mood in your routine because your daily life might be boring. You might want to escape somewhere. Sometimes you watch a movie, sometimes you watch a YouTube channel, expecting something that could spark your mood to a higher edge because you want to really disappear from your routine sometimes and brighten your mood with something you can connect to, something you can feel through the camera, some kind of a feeling that you're chasing, like adrenaline, you're chasing tension, you're chasing majesty. You want to see majestic animals. And when you don't see that, you don't feel fulfilled because you're chasing something that you cannot receive the time that you need it. When I am waiting for something to happen, I'm just anticipating that anything can come out of the brush. I can capture a moose, maybe some kind of boars, maybe even a bear, who knows? But I always anticipate the unknown a lot. When I go into the forest, I have high expectations. I want to really capture something and show it on camera because this is what I do on YouTube. And I cannot bring anything that is not worthy to show to the viewer. That is my logic in this, so I feel very disappointed this time because I did not really capture anything on camera. Even as hard as I tried, it just didn't work out that well. The silence that I feel in the moment of recording affects me in a lot of ways. I would say that being silent, I feel some kind of peace in the forest, but also uncertainty because I have to stay silent if I want to get any kind of trigger from wildlife over there. They sniff better than us, they hear better than us, most of them. Maybe don't see as well as us, but they can feel everything close to them. And when they hear my car drive close to the forest, they immediately know that somebody's here, so we gotta stay silent. And that silence drives me crazy sometimes because I really want to get results faster. And I always fighting with this kind of a silence wall that's really not letting me get the results I want from the animals and the reactions that I need from them. The details in the forest, which become noticeable only because nothing happens, are interesting illusions you make yourself see in the snow because you're trying to look for something interesting. And when you just cannot find it, you try to begin creating patterns in your own imagination. You got comments like, somebody seeing faces in the snow. And I turn on that part, I see faces also. Because when nothing happens, you try to make something of the video. You want to try to create it some kind of a purpose when it has none. You want to try to get some kind of a footage that you really wanted to get in your own expectations. So I got like, I see shiny eyes, I see animals in there, and I looked at it board. I also see something like that. But is it true? Were there really animals in there? Or was it all our own mind out of boredom and disappointment That is the other question that I cannot answer right now because I do not have proof if it's really what we think it is. I think it is hard to observe without expecting something because you want your time to pay off. Life is short, some people say, and when you spend your free time to watch a video, you want to get a reward for it. You don't want to just watch it knowing that nothing will happen. Like, there are these types of videos where people go, for example, 10 hours of rain sounds. You know it's gonna be 10 hours of rain sounds. And this is the same. You got a night walk forest video, and you know there's gonna be a night walk. But for some reason, you want it to be more than that. You want it to have some kind of a crazy animal, some kind of a reaction. For some reason, night walking does not apply to relaxing ambience videos, even though it has somewhat similar direction. Sometimes I think I'm searching for an experience, but the other times I find myself longing to go back to the forest even though I felt uncomfortable there. It's like I'm not craving some kind of an encounter that much as I'm craving the feeling I felt in there at night. In the forest at night, I feel vulnerable. I feel very cautious and alert. I feel some kind of a primal danger feeling that any kind of moment an animal might come out of the brush to defend its territory at night, especially if it's scared. So, when I go back home, I feel like I was in the danger zone, and I feel actually more confident now that I dealt with it properly. Like when I heard the noise, I didn't go any further, I turned around to not risk my own life so I could provide for my family in the future and not be left in that forest. I come back home, I feel like I made the right decision. I was in a dangerous environment, I made the right call, so I feel like a better man right now, even though from the outer perspective, this might not seem like a big deal. Sometimes I miss the feeling more, the feeling of making the right decision in dangerous areas and trusting myself. I really like that, to think that I'm in control and that I can take care of myself properly in unknown circumstances. I think the forest does not actually change in any kind of time. It has its own routine. You always find animal tracks. You always find similar kind of corridors of animal crossroads in any time of the day. So 24 hours, some kind of animals are always walking. Forest stays the same. In nighttime, I see an animal sometimes. In daytime, I see an animal sometimes. The only thing that the forest changes is minimal active periods of wildlife. For example, I might see deer more during daytime, but during nighttime I will more see wild pigs because wild pigs are nocturnal mainly. They go out foraging for food. In nighttime, they trust themselves more because they cannot see well, but they smell very nice. They can smell anything, and they hear very properly, so they are more nocturnal. You can see them less during day, but during night, you can see them more. Now, what can waiting in the forest for something to happen teach me? I think it can teach me a lot of things. I think it can teach me to really calculate how much you need to give to get something, how much you need to wait for something to happen, and how you should lower your expectations sometimes and trust reality more than your own mind, than your own mental imaginative world does not always apply to the rule of the realism, okay? Sometimes you expect something to happen and you believe it will, but sometimes reality slaps you in the face and tells you you need to see how it really is and trust your imagination less. take what you can get, not what you want to get. Because what you want to get, you may not always get. You have to get what you can.